everybody. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful start to their day. If you still have your morning cup of coffee, as I do, I invite you to enjoy it with me. As always, as you come on live, please do hop into the chat and you can say hi and where you are tuning in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are watching this in on the replay. And yes, the hoodie is back. It's October, folks. I can't believe how fast this year has gone. And, you know, I'm in Jersey, so the weather is starting to shift a little bit. We've had rain the last couple days, which we just love the change of seasons and, you know, getting water and, you know, for the plants and everything we have. But, you know, it's starting to get a little bit more chilly. And this is my favorite time of year. I don't know about you guys, but Q4, business and personal, is always my favorite. I love Halloween. I love Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah. Like that, this whole last quarter, it just lights me up. It's all about family and friends and giving and love and all of those things, and just super excited for it. Hey, Vicky, good to see you jumping on. So as Vicky is done, please do pop into the comments below, hi, and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are watching this on the replay. And please do not forget to like, love, support this video with whatever emoji you'd like to use. But also, after we're done, head over to my profile, hit the follow button, so obviously you can catch up on all the stuff that I've been producing on LinkedIn, but also ring my notification bell so you do get the notification of when I do go live, which is every Monday and Thursday between 10 and 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, today's topic is, I would say, always a topic of discussion, but something that always needs to be discussed, which is generating leads on LinkedIn. This is something that people end up struggling a lot with. And I know people reach out to me all the time. I'm going to break this down for you in very, very simple terms. And I'm going to go over the 3 ways. But here's what I want all of your goals to be. And this is plain and simple. So you hear the notion that, business is a numbers game. And there is actually some truth to that. It is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more people you get in front of, the more opportunity then presents itself where, again, you roll through those numbers, you're going to generate leads, you're going to generate some sales, you're going to generate revenue for your business. But here's what I want to go over with you. It's the quality over quantity. Everyone thinks, and I'm sure, type Y or yes in the chat box, how many of you have ever gotten a message on LinkedIn that says, hey, can you handle 10 or 20 more clients per month? Hey, how would it feel to generate 15 or 20 new calls per week on automation? Hey, are you looking for another $10,000 or $15,000 a month in your business? If so, reply to this message and we'll set up a call. So just drop a Y or a yes in the chat if you've ever received something like that. And it was interesting because I received something like that this morning. So someone sent me a message on LinkedIn. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hey, Scott, quick question. Would you be interested to check out how we can help you grow your coaching business and hit $20,000 a month in 3 months or less without spending a single dollar on advertising? Let me know if you're interested in learning more. That was a message that someone sent me on LinkedIn. Now, let me tell you this. Hey, Cindy, good to see you jumping on. That is a one-way ticket for me not only to not respond to your message, but it's also a one-way ticket for me to remove or block that person because, again, I will tell you straight up, anyone that thinks that they can grow and scale from $0 to $20,000 a month in 90 days, you are being misled and you are being sold a bad bill of goods. It takes years. It takes years to get. There are so many instrumental pieces on the back end of all of that to create $20,000 a month of reoccurring revenue. That's actually something that Nancy and I teach in our mastermind, which we're about to close the door on Wednesdays to. We have 11 new people that we're actually welcoming, which we're really, really excited about. But you want to generate quality leads, not quantity, quality leads. So you want to talk to the qualified and quality people. What's the point of getting on the phone with 40 people a week that aren't the right fit for what it is that you do? I would much rather get on the phone with 5 people a week that are teed up and ready to go or an ideal fit for me and what I do. Because again, my time is the most valuable thing. If I'm spending 30 minutes at a clip, 40 calls a week, that's 20 hours of my time. And if it's not leading to the right result, it's just going to burn me out. But here's what I want you all to think about. I want you to think about, and someone says, true, although many of these businesses have been doing it for years. Exactly. They've been doing it for years. I'm not sure who wrote that. It just says LinkedIn user. They've been doing it for years the wrong way. And I feel bad because there's a lot of people that have actually gotten taken advantage of. They made all these investments into these companies and firms that make all these false promises. So Nancy and I really live upon under-delivering and let me get this right. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Under-promising and over-delivering. So in business, you always want to under-promise and over-deliver. But that message is a clear example of someone over-promising and under-delivering. That is not where you want to be. You want to under-promise and over-deliver. So if that makes sense, drop a Y in the comments below. Again, if you've come on late, please do say hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are watching this on the replay. And please do like, love, support this video. Follow me. Hit my notification bell on LinkedIn. And again, what we're talking about today is 3 ways to generate qualified and quality leads on LinkedIn. So back to my point. If every single one of you was to just generate 5 qualified leads a week, so 1 call a day, Monday through Friday, that's 5 calls a week, that's 20 calls a month, okay? 20 calls a month. Now, and these are qualified people. So if you think about that even more deeply, if you only closed 10%, 90% said no, but 10% said yes, that's 2 new sales a month. Think about this. How different would your business look if you generated 2 new sales a month? Now, as you get better, that closing ratio may go up. You may start closing 20% of your sales. So 80% say no, 20% say yes. That's 4 new sales a month. How different would your business look if you were able to bring in 4 new sales a month? That's what you want to start thinking about. So everything that you do on LinkedIn should be from the perspective is, how can I generate 1 new qualified and quality call a day, Monday through Friday, that's going to put me in the position to generate the right type of connection for the outcome that I'm looking for, which is to help that person. But again, under promising and over delivering. So if that makes sense, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Now, the number 1 way to start generating qualified and quality leads, hey Ben, good to see you coming in, is connect with your ideal clients and power partners. I've talked about this so many times. When you are building your ideal network on LinkedIn, your connections should fall into 2 categories: ideal clients and power partners. So just as an example, why don't you drop in the comments below, who is your ideal client? And I'm going to take you through a little bit of an exercise. Who is your ideal client from a profession or industry standpoint? So drop into the comments below, who is your ideal client from the perspective of a profession or industry. So if you were to think about, okay, if they were teed up right in front of me, they would be in this industry or they would have this professional title. This is important because remember, LinkedIn is a search engine, right? It is a giant search engine just like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So Vicky says, my ideal client is a passive real estate investor. Love that. So Vicky, a couple times a week, could pop onto LinkedIn, put in the search bar, real estate investor, all keywords. And that would spit out all of the potential connections that Vicky could make with her ideal client. I love that example. And if anybody else has an example, so David wrote, CTO of manufacturing, SMB with heavy data needs. So again, what David could do is he can search CTO, comma, manufacturing, because what that's going to bring about is that specific demographic of profession or industry. And what you have to understand, this is the beauty of LinkedIn being a search engine. If David was to do that search, when it runs through, it's going to give him a list of people that fit that description based on those keywords. And LinkedIn will actually show you exactly where those keywords were populated in the search. So it'll show you in the person's profile, hey, David, here's where we found where it said CTO. Here's where we found where it said manufacturing. So then he can vet out, okay, these people are worth connecting with. These people are not worth connecting with. Now, Ben says, referrals from power connections drive my business in addition to inbound demand that are pre-qualified through my content and engagement. I love that. And, I'm going to actually speak to Ben's point in a couple of minutes. But this is what you guys need to start thinking about. Who is that ideal client? Who is that person from an industry or profession standpoint that I can connect with that is going to lead me to having that connection point? And Cindy wrote health and wellness and beauty. So again, Cindy could search health or health, wellness, or health, beauty, or wellness, beauty. And what that's going to bring back, again, are search results that fit that specific search. And it'll show you right in that person's profile exactly how it came about. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. The other thing is, now that you're connecting with those ideal clients, you want to also focus on connecting with those power partners. Now, what is a power partner? A power partner is someone who could introduce you to your ideal client. So going back to Vicky, Vicky, if your ideal client is a real estate investor, who would be your power partner? So type that in the chat below. So Vicky, your real estate investor is your ideal client. Who's that power partner that can introduce you to more real estate investors? Type that in the chat box. David, if your ideal client is the CTO of a manufacturing firm or SMB, who would your ideal client be? And Cindy, if your ideal client is health, wellness, and beauty, who would be your power partner? And David, I meant who's your power partner? So type it in the comments below. And Ben, who are your specific power partners? Because again, this is really, really important to clarify and understand, because when you're connecting with the right people, you're filling up your network with unbelievable opportunities because you have clear and specific reasoning for connecting with those individuals. You're connecting with the right power partners. You're connecting with the right ideal clients. And the fact is, whether it's inbound connections that are being sent to you or outbound connections that you are sending yourselves, once you clarify that ideal client or that power partner, you don't send connections or accept connections from anyone that doesn't fit into one of those two buckets. And Cindy says, yes, I do this on Instagram and Facebook. I never considered doing it here on LinkedIn. Awesome. Well, Cindy, I'm glad that kind of, light bulb moment, it kind of opened up your eyes. And Ben said, recruiters and power networkers in the job search space. Love that. And again, with clarity comes results. The more clear and specific you are with the outcome that you want and the people that you want to connect with, the easier of a time you're going to have. people make growing their business a lot more difficult than it needs to be. I call it the spraying and praying. So the fact is, if you don't spray and pray and try to connect with anyone and everyone, and you get niche specific, you really hone down those that you really want to connect with, it's going to raise the level and opportunity and chances for you to really grow and scale your business. And Ben says, my ideal client is a mid to senior level professional that wants to make career transitions, or they are in a career transition. I love that. So again, Ben is super uber clear on exactly who his target market is, and I can guarantee you he has a well-oiled machine, not only of the right connections, but as he alluded to earlier in this training, that you're providing content that actually feeds the needs of those ideal clients. So remember to connect with your ideal clients and power partners only. Now, to back what Ben said earlier, number 2 is provide content that solves problems. So if you really want to draw more people into what you're doing, create content that solves problems. If you think about, here's an example. If you think about anything that you've ever bought, anything, you're buying it because it solves a problem, right? Your ears are cold, you get a hat. Your hands are cold, you buy gloves. It's raining outside and you don't want to get wet, you buy an umbrella. You want to get from point A to point B faster, you get a car. Everything that you've ever purchased has been from the standpoint of solving a problem that you may have. Everything. You want to better communicate with people? You bought a phone. You wanted to be able to work remotely? You got a laptop so you can just travel and just connect to some Wi-Fi. You wanted to listen to music in your own space? You bought headphones. Everything that you've ever bought, everything that you've bought has been from the perspective of solving a problem that you have. And Michelle says, started a new job in sales and business development for a freight and logistic company, still working out getting my ideal clients. And Michelle, again, a lot of this, when you're in a new industry or business, it is trying to figure things out, but you're on the right path. The fact is that you're trying to figure it out. So really nail down with what you do in business development. Obviously, freight and logistic is, the industry that you're a part of, but think about, with what you do for that freight and logistics company, because you do sales and business development. Think about who are the people that would be best served by what you're doing. And again, some of it may be throwing darts at a dartboard to see what sticks, but you have to start having some conversations, and that will allow you to nail down, who's the best fit and who's the not. And then you can get narrower and narrower as you move forward. So I hope that helps. Now, provide content. Now, when you're providing content on LinkedIn, my recommendation is only doing it 3 days a week in the very beginning. You can ramp up to 5 days a week like myself, Monday through Friday. I do a bonus post on Saturdays, but my typical meaty content is Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays and Saturdays, I do poll questions, which I'm going to get to in a second. But you want to provide content that solves problems. So you want to think about that target market that you're marketing towards, that demographic, that ideal client, that power partner. Nancy and I, my wife, we always talk about grabbing a piece of paper, drawing a line down the middle. On the left-hand side, write down all of the problems that your ideal client, industry, or profession has, and just start brainstorming. Write down as many as you can. On the other side of that piece of paper, write down all of the solutions to the problems that you just brought about. So if that makes sense, just drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. If you've come on late, we're talking about the 3 ways to use LinkedIn to generate qualified leads. Number 1, we talked about connecting with ideal clients and power partners, and we're on number 2 right now, which is providing content that solves problems. So again, if this is making sense, Y or yes in the chat box. If you come on late or you have come on late, just drop in the comments below hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are popping in on the replay, so I do know to go back and say hello. And please, if you're finding value from this, like, love, support, whatever emoji you want to hit on this video. But please don't forget to hit my follow button and ring my notification bell on LinkedIn so we can stay better connected with all of my content. So you really want to make sure. So now that you have this piece of paper, you have all the problems, you have all the solutions. Now you just have to create content in between that. So now that you've just today, for an example, I wrote down one of the main problems was, business professionals are struggling with generating leads. So that was one of the core problems on the left side of the piece of paper where I wrote these things down. On the other side of it, I wrote down some solutions, which I'm going over with you today. Now I just have to generate content in between. And that content can be done in 3 ways. A video like this, where I'm doing a training. Now, it could be pre-recorded. You don't have to do a live, but I could have just simply pre-recorded a video and said, hey, everybody, today I'm going to go over 3 ways to use LinkedIn to generate qualified leads. Number 1, make sure you build your network full of ideal clients and power partners, and then I give a little description of that. Number 2, make sure you provide content that solves problems, and I go over the types of content that you want to create content that you solve the problems for. And number 3, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is XYZ, little description. I hope you found today's content helpful. Please comment below. What was the most impactful tip that I gave today? Would love to hear from you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody, and then you're done. 2 to 4 minutes. So I always suggest Monday doing a video. So you could do a live training like this that should be between 15 to 30 minutes in length, or you can do a pre-recorded, which only has to be about 2 to 4 minutes in length, if that is better for you. So again, regardless of whether it's live or it's recorded, make sure that at least 1 day a week, you're doing a video. Now, I suggest that on Mondays. Wednesdays, you want to do a poll. I love polls. Now, what you don't want to do with LinkedIn polls is to ask people, how do you take your coffee, with cream or without? When do you put your Christmas tree up? Before Thanksgiving or after? What do you like better, dogs or cats? That's not a poll that you want to post on LinkedIn. That's more for Facebook and Instagram. The reason why you're doing LinkedIn polls is because you're looking to find out market research from your network. So if you've built the right type of network where you've been connecting with the right types of connections, power partners and ideal clients, and now you're providing a meaningful poll question, it's going to give you the answers and responses that you require. So plain and simple, I did a poll question the other day. What are you struggling most with in using LinkedIn? Generating leads, providing content, closing sales. And the majority of the people voted for generating qualified leads. So what am I doing today? I'm providing a value piece of content that is talking about a problem and providing solutions for that. So that's why the poll questions are so important. If you want to find out what your ideal client is struggling with, just ask. Just ask. So Monday, you're doing your video, 2 to 4 minutes pre-recorded, 15 to 30 minutes if it's done live. Wednesday, you're doing a poll question for market research. So again, if that makes sense, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat box below. Now, the third thing you're going to do, Friday, you're going to do a long form piece of content. Now, this could be a newsletter, an article, or just a long form post, and that's up to 3,000 characters. So here's the example. So say you do that poll question on Wednesday and you get some good market research from it. What I can do is, instead of doing a video on that, since I'm doing it on Wednesday, on Friday, I can write a post talking about the 3 things that you can do to generate more qualified leads on LinkedIn. Number 1 is this, and then a little 2 to 3 sentence description. Number 2 is this, a little 2 to 3 sentence description. Number 3 is this, a little 2 to 3 sentence description. Which of the 3 tips was most valuable to you? Comment below. And then I have some hashtags that gear towards what I'm talking about. So hashtag leads, hashtag content, hashtag LinkedIn. 3 to 5 hashtags. So it could be up to 3,000 characters. So you always want to have the topic you're talking about. You give a couple tangible tips between 2 to 3, a call to action asking what people resonated most with or took away from it, and then use some targeted hashtags that relate back to the content. So if those individuals are following those hashtags on LinkedIn, your content will appear. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. So again, Monday video, Wednesday poll question, Friday long form piece of content, article, newsletter, or post. So that's the second way to start generating more qualified leads, because if you're providing quality content, people will see you for how they should see you, which is the industry expert and the go-to person in your space. Now, the third and final thing that you can do, which I don't think people are doing enough of, is make sure that you nurture and engage with your network of connections. Nurture and engage with your network of connections. Now, there's 3 ways that you can do this. Number 1, use the push notifications. So every single day you can log on to LinkedIn, you click the little notification bell on the top right, and it's going to show you exactly who's having a birthday, a work anniversary, a job promotion, or a change of a job position. All you have to do is say, congrats, happy birthday. Use the automated message that LinkedIn is providing for you to nurture that connection. Because if you're trying to have a conversation with them and maybe you reached out to them in the very, very beginning when they became a connection of yours and they didn't respond to the message, but they did respond to the happy birthday message, guess what? Now that person is able to be connected with you. So you say happy birthday, they say thank you. Now the door's open. You are so welcome. I know we haven't spoken before. Would love to hear how things are going with you in your business. Share more about what I'm up to and how we can support each other here on LinkedIn. Anytime for a call or a Zoom this or next week. So now you're using those automated messages to nurture your connection. The second thing that you can do is always respond back to those that respond to you and your content. So every single one of you that has been commenting on this live or recorded training, you better believe later on today you are going to get a reply from me for commenting in the comments, because I support people that support me. If you are all going to take the time out of your days to write something below in a video that I've done, in a poll I've done, in a post that I've done, you better believe if you've scratched my back, I'm going to scratch yours. And I'm going to do that in one of 2 ways. The second way is what I just said. I'm going to reply back to your comment. The third thing, and the second thing you can do within that, is I am going to comment on someone else's content that I resonate with. So if someone is supporting me and I'm supporting them and I'm going through my newsfeed on LinkedIn and I see a post that, like, man, that resonates. What my friend Joe actually just posted something earlier about being a good coach, and it totally resonated with me. And the post said, you know, a good coach always talks and helps their clients or students by having the difficult conversations and telling them the things that they don't want to hear. I know this. I've been coaching for 25 years. The most difficult conversations are the ones that spur the best results, because the harder the conversation, the more impactful it's going to be personally and professionally. So I totally resonated with it. So I liked it, I loved it, and I commented back. So make sure that all of you, once a day, as you're going through your newsfeed, if you stumble upon a post of one of your connections that truly resonates with you, I mean, it really speaks to your heart, take the time to love the post and comment. Don't just put good post with some, emoji thumbs. Add value to it. Oh, love this post, totally agree, and here is why. Add your thoughts to it. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the comments below. So in review, the 3 ways to start generating more qualified and quality leads is make sure that you're connecting with your ideal clients and power partners. Make sure you provide value-added content that solves problems, and make sure that you are nurturing and engaging with your network of connections. So again, I would love to hear from all of you. Drop into the comments below, whether you're live or on the replay. What was your biggest takeaway from this training? What moved the needle and giving you more clarity in everything that we spoke about? Would love to hear from you. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's training. Love and gratitude to each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.